Raider Nation, what's going on? We're live here on the Raiders Report. And coming up on today's show, I'm going to answer this question here. If Jimmy Garoppolo was unable to play against the Chicago Bears, who should be the starter? Should it be Brian Hoyer or should it be Aidan O'Connell? Let me know down in the comments section. We're going to give some shout-outs here in just a little bit. We're going to get into the latest around Davante Adams because it sounds like the Raiders' star wide receiver was a little bit upset after their win against the New England Patriots. And then we're going to get into the latest around Hoyer, Aidan O'Connell. We're going to get into some trade rumors. And then the Raiders have won 2 games in a row. And I want to look forward to Week 7. I'm looking at the Chicago Bears, and I'm going to give you my keys to victory on both sides of the football. Maybe one of the keys is starting one of these guys right here. Shout out to the nation. We already got 300 people here in the building. And Patrick B. Bang! If you don't spam happy birthday Patrick B, then you eat corn the long way. We got 320 people only because Patrick B is a member of Mount Raidermore. Will I do a boot today? Because usually on Mondays and Tuesdays, you got to make me hit that gong. But yesterday's show got wild. Shout out to Savannah Jean. Shout out to David Zahn, Brandon Jasper. I'm going to do one boot. The only way I'm doing another, and the only way I'm drinking anything else today, if it wasn't Patrick B's birthday, the only way I'm going to drink anything else is if somebody makes me hit that gong. But let me give some shout-outs here. I got Big Island giving some love to Patrick B. Who should the Raiders start at quarterback? Juan Hernandez, Edgar Martinez, Raider Muerte, Silver Ice, FAB, Tiger Acer, Stevie, Assman, PG2869 are all spamming for Aidan O'Connell. And you know what? I think right now is a great time to welcome in my good friend and co-host, Jeremy Chuggs.
Let's go!
Jeremy, I need you to give some shout-outs to everybody. Giving a shout-out to Patrick B.
Happy birthday.
First thing I did when I got here this morning, Patrick, poured this thing up. I knew I was wearing the jersey.
Happy birthday.
Here we go.
Happy birthday to you. Let's go. Hellcat Q, Ashton, all wishing Patrick B a happy birthday. And many more boots. Will Thompson, Jaime Alvarado, Indiana Raiders, Scott Matz, Tyler Otto, Rick Melendez, the Athletic supporters, Rick Aguilar, PG2869, Jeff Rogers, Big Island, Queen Sarah Otto. All spamming HBD. And we have another super chat coming in from Spoken21, Glass Garoppolo.
Hey, I got a burp, man. There's a big one in there. You keep going.
Needs to go. He is too frail. He can't last the season. We've seen all that we have with him.
I mean, here's the problem with Jimmy Garoppolo, and this is one of the reasons why I didn't want the Raiders to sign him in the first place. When you think about the type of offensive system that Josh McDaniels apparently runs, all we've heard is how complicated it is. And I get it. Jimmy G once ran QB in a Josh McDaniels system, but that was all the way back in 2014 when he was the member of the New England Patriots. If that offense is the exact same the way it was in 2014 compared to the way it is in 2023, that's a major issue for McDaniels. So he wasn't able to learn in March, April, May, June, July. August, he got thrown into it, and he looks like a QB that doesn't understand the system, on top of him not being able to be healthy, and then on top of him just not being very good anymore.
Speaking of quarterbacks who don't thrive under Josh McDaniels and don't get the system.
I had to do it.
Let's take a look at your prize picks.
I had to do it. Chuggs and I are going to be live on Thursday Night Football when the Saints take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Actually, a good part about that game. Sounds like Trevor Lawrence might actually play. They didn't know if he was gonna or not. But I'm going to go less on passing yards with DC. I mean, we got to be able to face the facts. Derek Carr in a shortened week against the tough Jacksonville defense. I'm going to take the less on that. I don't believe in DC to be a very great quarterback, but you know who he's going to get involved? Alvin Kamara, because I also have him on my fantasy team for my family. And then I got to go Saquon Barkley, less on that because that entire team is a shit show. But you know what? If you're like, Mitch, no way, Derek Carr's going to get more passing yards.
Put your money where
your mouth is. If you're like, Mitch, I'm going with you, well then, hey, go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Nation, Prize Picks is daily fantasy sports made easy, and Prize Picks is the most fun I've had, winning up to 25 times my money this football season. You just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and place your entry. So all you got to do, one more time, Chuggs is going to put it for you guys down in the comments and down in the description of today's show. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. And last week, I actually won. I was really hyped up that I won last week because I took less on Jimmy G passing yards. I took less on Ramondre Stevenson rushing yards. And then I believe I went more with Michael Mayer on the receiving yards. And Chuggs got a little bit mad at me today because he goes, do you want my picks? And I go, no, I want my own picks. So Chuggs, why did you go with these?
So I went with, we saw New England last week. Cheeks.
Okay.
Raiders offense looked halfway decent against them with Brian Hoyer.
19 points.
Still.
Yeah.
Halfway decent.
Okay.
So I'm going more on James Cook rushing yards. Also, kind of a sneaky one here. I had to kind of look through. There's a ton of different stat projections that Prize Picks had. I kind of combed through it. This was my value pick right here. Tyreek Hill, at least 1 touchdown against the Eagles. I think it'll happen.
You like it?
I like it. 0.5 either passing, rushing, receiving touchdowns.
Speaking of the Eagles, they signed Julio Jones to the practice squad. That's kind of wild, man. Shout out to Philadelphia for just always being aggressive. I wish I had Howie Roseman as my general manager. I'll tell you that right now.
Aggressive. Be aggressive.
And then the Gardner Minshew mustache. You're going less.
I'm going less on Gardner Minshew just because the Browns' defense has looked so good this year.
It's on pace right now to be the best defense of all time.
I'm going less on Gardner Minshew, and I also think they're going to try to work Jonathan Taylor more of the rushing game in. So that's kind of my thought process on that. And then also Alvin Kamara, I'm on the same thought process as you. I think he's more effective catching the ball out of the backfield than running out of the backfield.
And then I know one thing. Carr, he loves himself a good check down. Those are our picks. If you ever want to share us your picks, hey, don't be afraid to down in the comments. We would appreciate it.
People in New Orleans, they're calling him the Cajun Amir Abdullah.
I mean, let's be real. I like Amir Abdullah, but Alvin Kamara is a lot better than Amir Abdullah.
I'm not calling him that. Other people are calling him.
That's just what you're hearing?
The Cajun Amir Abdullah.
Wow, that's pretty wild.
It's like Amir Abdullah if you put Tony Sasserines on top of him.
You'd have to cover him in Tony Satch. Let me know down in the comments, what is your confidence level in Aidan O'Connell if he starts against the Bears? Scale it from 1 to 10. I put this question on Twitter, and I would say on Twitter right now the answers are somewhere between 5, 6, and 7 is what I've been seeing. Now there's also the people that are like, it's a 10 because Chicago Bears defense stinks. But then there's also people that there's a lot of people that want the Raiders to roll with Brian Hoyer because he looked pretty good this past week, 6 of 10 for 102 yards. Now I want you guys to get your votes in. I'm going to give my vote probably a little bit later on today's show. But right now I see Muerte is going to go 8. Diehard Raider fan says 8. Preston Vargas says 7. Juan Hernandez, I love the confidence, with a 10. Mad Mike, 10. Ronnie Ibanez is going to go with an 8. Roger says 3 out of 10. Sorry. Here's the thing on this show. I never want you to apologize for giving your opinion, right? Like, we might not agree on everything that we say. I don't want you to agree with everything Chuggs says. I don't want you to agree with everything I said. That's boring. Like, that's not real. You speak your mind, and if it's a 3 out of 10, say it with your chest, Roger. It's all good, brother. Let's go to John Scheffler, who's always speaking from his chest, which Scheffler's an absolute legend in these streets. Chuggs, how about those Astros? Think they can pull off the 2 road wins? They got to win both games. They lose one, they're in trouble. I'll say this. If there is one team that I will just never count out right now in baseball, it's the Stros. Like, that is it. And they play better on the road.
The thing is,
they're a better road team.
Both of these games, the Stros played awful, and they only lost by 2 and by 1.
I mean, you go back and you look at those games, and it's why I love baseball and it's why I hate baseball, right? Like, in that first inning, great single up the middle to get it going. Next batter up, the lefty, like, just bloops one in. And then the Astros, a few innings later, have bases loaded, and they don't get anything. I mean, baseball can change so quickly. Don't get me wrong. I definitely think that the Rangers dominated both of those games. However, but they were close.
The Astros played significantly worse than the Rangers in both of those games and still only lost by 2 and lost by 1.
Scheffler, I appreciate the fact that you're stoking this flame, because if anybody wants to see Jeremy just physically just break down, go to yesterday's live show, and I want you to, we start at, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Go to like 4:40 p.m. Eastern time and just watch for 10 minutes, because you just see Jeremy just start the show with a smile, and it just slowly dwindles down. But, I mean, again, 4 runs in the first inning. They scored 5 the entire game.
What's y'all's confidence level in AOC this weekend if he starts against the Bears?
Let's go Rangers, am I right? Spam those R's for Raiders and Rangers right now if you want to troll Chuggs. I mean, what's your confidence level in AOC? The Bears' defense obviously is not great. However, the last time that we saw Aidan, he was sacked 7 times. He fumbled 3, lost 2, threw a bad interception.
I have to say, the times where he wasn't getting sacked, he didn't look bad. So I'm going to go with 7.
Ooh, I'm hoping that you see the second half, Aidan, who got the ball rolling in the right direction. And then also, I'll say this. I watched the Chargers game yesterday, Monday Night Football. Khalil Mack just seems like he's on one right now. I mean, he's... I get it. Like, we talk about NBA players getting hot when they shoot. We talk about sometimes baseball guys not being able to get out, quarterbacks when they get on hot streaks. Khalil Mack's on a heater right now. Dude can't be stopped.
Literally untradeable right now for the Los Angeles Chargers.
I don't know about that. Everyone's tradable.
Khalil Mack, I could not see it.
No?
I couldn't see somebody trading Khalil Mack right now.
Yeah, imagine somebody trading him and then that team trades him. Both of them are playing on the same field this upcoming week. It's wild stuff. There's no doubt about it. Wild stuff there. Shout out to John Scheffler. Venthrak just sending a $5 super chat.
Oh, R4L.
What's up, Venthrak?
R4L 1960. Love you too.
Hey, Venthrak, just to confirm, your first name is Daniel, correct? I think it's Daniel. I got to message you. I have a reminder set on my phone, which I think you already sent me your shipping address, but I've been trying to send you something. So just if your first name's Daniel, which I think it is, make sure you message me on Venmo. Just make sure you do that. All right, man, we got 541 people here in the building. Yet, Jeremy, I only see 130 likes.
Oh, what?
It's wild, man. Y'all are lucky Queen Sarah Otto's not here. Y'all are lucky.
I'll tell you this right now.
I'm listening.
If we don't get at least 250 likes, fact, the Astros are going to come back and win this series.
Oh, wow. 600 likes.
If we don't get 250 likes, Astros winning this series, lock of the century. Before we start, I'm telling you that right now.
I mean, here's the thing, though.
All right,
we're
getting started on today's show. Mitch,
I knew you were going to do it.
Davante Adams, is he mad?
Oh, wait a minute. We got a few super chats that we got to get to.
We'll get to him after the segment.
Yep. We got to get to, I see Hellcat Q and then David Silva. Don't worry, I'll read them off here. I got you. Hellcat Q says, any word on El Hemi G-Strings or Davante? Happy birthday to Patrick B. Well, let me just say this. We are about to dive into both of these questions here on the show. And I really want us to get to 250 likes because I can tell Jeremy really trying to push this show along here. But we will talk about both of them. And then David Silva says, what's the word on Jimmy missed last game? So you're saying you missed last game? Because he played in the game. He just missed the second half of it. And again, you're not going to get an update from Josh McDaniels on the whole quarterback situation around the Raiders probably until game time or probably until Saturday. And that's the smart thing to do, and that's what the Raiders should do. And, last time when Garoppolo was unable to go, Brian Hoyer did not take the majority of the first-team snaps. So what I'm going to be looking at practice this week is, who's going to be taking the majority of the first-team snaps? Is it going to be Aidan? Is it going to be Hoyer? Because I think that's going to tell you who the Raiders plan on going with. But because of that, we're going to dive into it here. Didn't get to 250 likes, which means the Astros are going to be coming back against the Texas Rangers. Don't tell Coop. Don't tell Coop. All right, y'all, coming up right now, the latest Raiders rumors and some drama around Davante Adams. What's going on, nation? I need you to pick a starting quarterback if Jimmy Garoppolo was unable to play this week against the Chicago Bears. If you're going to roll with the veteran, Brian Hoyer, I want you to type BH. If you're going to roll with Aidan O'Connell, I want you to spam AOC. My answer is going to be coming up a little bit later here on today's show. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the #1 most watched Raider show in the entire world. And if you don't believe me, subscribe. I'll show you why. Coming up on the show, it's Davante Adams situation. And I'm going to be real. A lot of smoke going on around Davante, and it's starting to scare me a little bit. And then Aidan O'Connell, is he going to be the Raiders starting quarterback if Jimmy G is unable to go? For those of you that do not know what I'm talking about with this entire Davante situation, this is the latest going on around number 17. So it was reported that Davante showed a little bit of frustration on Sunday versus New England, and he did. I mean, you got to give Bill Belichick a little bit of credit, and you should have known that the Patriots were going to do everything in their power to try to take him out of the game plan because he's the go-to guy, and that's what the Patriots do. Tay then, though, after the game, after the Raiders won, left without talking to the media, and for anybody that's followed Davante from his time with the Green Bay Packers to now with the Las Vegas Raiders, he doesn't do that. Like, Davante's not the type of dude to just pack his stuff up and go right away without talking to the media. So the rumor is that Adams left after the game in a very, very bad mood, and people are wondering, is he in a bad mood because the Raiders aren't using him on offense right now, or is it more of a he's not putting up the stats in terms of what Davante is used to putting up? If you don't know, he was targeted 5 times, had 2 catches for 29 yards and no touchdowns against New England. Now, me personally, I get the idea that you want to be able to put up numbers, but the only thing that really matters is the W, which the Raiders did get. But when you look at Davante's stats throughout this entire season in 6 games, he started this week 1 with the Denver Broncos, 6 for 66, no touchdowns. Then followed that up against the Buffalo Bills. Again, it was in a blowout game. 6 catches, 84 yards, and a touchdown. But if you remember, that touchdown happened early on. Week 3, then, against the Steelers in garbage time, he was targeted 20 times for 172, and 2 touchdowns. But over the last 3 weeks, hasn't really been all that great. Week 4 with Aidan O'Connell, 8 for 75. Last week against his old team, 4 for 45. And then this past week against the New England Patriots, 2 for 29. So my question to every single person out there is this. If Davante Adams left, right, which he did leave before talking to the media, and according to reports, according to rumors, and people that I've talked to, he did leave upset. I don't know what he left upset about, but do you think that he was mad about his stats? The fact that he finished that game with only 5 targets. He finished that game with only 2 for 29. It's going to be the pinned comment on today's show, so you're about to get hit with a YouTube ad break. I want you to scroll on down and let me know. My opinion is, if Davante is frustrated with his stats, I don't think it's a good look. Point blank. If I'm going to sit up on this show and I'm going to rip Josh McDaniels when he doesn't do something intelligent, if I'm going to rip apart Jimmy Garoppolo, I got to be able to do it with every player. If Max does something dumb, I got to be able to chew out Max even though he's the face of this franchise. And if Davante is upset about his statistics after the Raiders win 2 games in a row, after the Raiders came away with a W, I'm telling y'all right now, it is not a good look at all. I'm not saying that that's what happened. Personally, I have another theory, which we'll get to here in a second. But like right now as it stands, when you look at Davante Adams' numbers on a 17-game pace, his numbers aren't bad. Like, these are not numbers that you should be upset about. 167 targets, 111 receptions for 1,335 yards and 8 touchdowns. This is not a bad 17-game pace. And I hope and pray that Davante was not upset about his stats. Coming up, why I think Davante Adams is upset. is mad, is frustrated. I've seen a lot of different words being thrown out there in terms of what exactly happened after this game. And when you have a player like Davante, when you have a situation like the Raiders have had, it's going to get a lot of attention. Why? Because obviously the nation cares about Davante Adams. Now, here's one thing that I preach on this show, and I said it when we were live. You don't always have to agree with what I say. In fact, I don't like when people always agree with me. I want you to have your own opinion. It's why we made the Raiders report the way that it is. So when I tell you to go down and comment, I want you to go ahead and do so. But if you believe Raider Nation is a family, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, because I promise you this, you're not going to find another YouTube channel out there that preaches family more than what this one does right here. And people who I know are a part of my Raiders Report family, we started an old saying here, it's real one for life. When I went out to Oakland for the very first time, the amount of Raider fans and just doing this show, you hear Raider Nation for life. Cool. So when I see RO4L, it stands for Real One for Life. Those are the people that I know that are part of my family here on the Raiders Report. So I checked out my last video. I saw Jaime, Spider Pig, Doreen, X-Toe, and then King Sanchez all spammed RO4L. If you want to see your name on a future Raiders Report show, hit that subscribe button, join the family, and spam RO4L. So here's my take on this whole Davante Adams situation. I think Davante Adams is frustrated with the current state of the Raiders offense. It's not so much just a statistic part from him, though if I'm Davante, I'm probably like, yeah, I get that the Patriots try to take me out of the offense, but at the end of the day, he's probably like, I'm him, right? Like Davante knows that he's one of the best, if not the best receiver in football. So the idea of not getting him involved, it's probably frustrating, but just like anything in life, if you do something that you care about and you're not doing it well, that is extremely frustrating. Think about when you're playing Madden and you can't put up 40. Guess what? They can't even put up 20 right now. So to me, you got to look at this current state. But you also have to go back and you got to look at the offseason. That's very, very important here. Do you remember the quote that Davante Adams said in terms of the entire conversation around this offense and quarterback? The exact quote was, "We don't see eye to eye on what we think is best for us right now." Davante has always said exactly what's been on his mind, which is what I respect because you don't really get that too often in the NFL from players, from coaches, so on and so forth. But he told the Raiders, we don't see eye to eye right now what's best for us on offense. Kind of seems like Davante and the rest of us were right on that. And then, this is also very important to remember, Davante wanted to come to the Raiders to play with the Raiders, obviously, for his family. He also wanted to be a part of the team with Derek Carr, his old buddy from Fresno State. But then the one thing that he asked Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels, hey, if you're going to move on from D.C., all I ask is this, let me be a part of the conversation on who's going to be the next quarterback. If you're going to do all the things that you did to trade a first and a second for me, to give me a 5-year, $140 million contract, all I ask is this, I just want to be included in that. And what did the Raiders do? They didn't include Davante Adams. So here's my biggest worry right now around Davante. I'm worried that Davante Adams feels that he's unheard and that he's wasting his time with the Raiders. The most important thing in everybody's life, in my life, Chuggs' life, your life, Davante's life, is time. And as soon as you feel like you're wasting your time, that makes me nervous, because if that's how Davante feels, if he feels like no matter what he says to McDaniels, no matter what he says to Dave Ziegler, nothing matters because they're going to do what they want to do, that gets frustrating, no matter who you are and what you mean to an organization. So coming up here is something that scares the hell out of me. I saw this on social media, and if you haven't seen this yet, it's going to make you a little bit nervous. I'm just going to tell you that right now, because it scares the hell out of me, because I don't want to lose Davante Adams. And I'll tell you exactly what that is here in just a second. But a huge shout out to today's sponsor, Prize Picks. Man, I've had a lot of fun with fantasy football. For those of you that know me well, I'm a fantasy football dude through and through. And the fact that I got Prize Picks here sponsoring the Raiders Report, man, I'm going to look at all y'all in the eyes every single time I talk about them. And I'm going to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. But you know what? Prize Picks is daily fantasy sports made easy. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. So right now, for those of you that are watching this live, you can see the link. It's going to be available to y'all down in the comments. It's also going to be in the description. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. The other thing that I like to do when I have prize picks on a show is I want to show you what picks I'm rolling with. I won $50 last week. Derek Carr, less on Thursday Night Football. Anytime I see Thursday Night Football, I usually go with the less because it's such a quick turnaround. But with that being said, I'm going to go with Alvin Kamara. Give me the more. I know Carr's going to check it down here and there, and it's nothing wrong with that. But Kamara is arguably one of their best receiving options. And then with the Giants, anything Giants right now, I'm taking less. Saquon Barkley, less rushing yards than what you see on screen. And if you're like, Mitch, I like those picks. Or I know there's going to be some Raider fans out there that are going to be like, Mitch, no way, Derek Carr's going to have more. Cool. Put your money where your mouth is. It's the easiest way to be able to prove to me what you think. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. I love using their app. I think y'all will too, and I'm telling you, you're going to have fun. Even if you don't plan on watching Thursday Night Football, anytime I don't know what I'm going to be doing, guess what I do? I go to Prize Picks, put 5, 10 down, and have a chance to win some money. Even people who are going to watch the MLB playoffs tonight. Go ahead. You can go MLB, you can do NBA, NFL. They have all the sports. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a hell of a time. So I want to play a little bit of a game here with Prize Picks. I'm saying Derek Carr, less than 234.5 passing yards. What do you guys think here? Type M for more or type L for less. I'm also the dude that I pay attention to certain players. When Darren Waller plays, hey, I'm watching. When Derek Carr plays, shit, of course I'm watching. Raiders games, I'm watching. More or less, Derek Carr, 234.5 passing yards. Let me know down below. All right, let's go to this next thing here. Something that scares the hell out of me. And when you talk about Davante Adams, all right, well, it's actually something else that scares me quite a bit. It's not that, but I'm not going to lie to you. Spiders do scare the hell out of me, and I didn't know you were going to do that. So we have two screens. I can see usually what's coming up on the screen on my left side, and then that. I was wondering why the screen was black, and then all of a sudden, yikes. Oh, that was... Did we just end it? No, I'm just kidding. All right, we're going to keep it rolling here with something that does actually scare me. Spiders do, but this scares me a little bit more. Hondo had this to say on Twitter in the whole regards to Davante Adams, which was sitting in a press box. I just got a text from a very successful NFL QB. Said, is Davante Adams on his way out of there? He's not getting any touches. He's the best in the league. I don't think that Davante Adams is going anywhere. I can't imagine that the Raiders are doing that because everybody that I talk to, it sounds like the Raiders are in win now mode, and the Raiders are going to be buyers at the NFL trade deadline, and that they're not going to be sellers. If they would have lost these last 2 weeks, I do think that maybe that conversation could have changed. But again, the Raiders have already paid Davante Adams. They have already paid him for 2024. So trading him away, basically you're paying Davante, it's $17 million-ish to go play for another football team. I don't think Davante is going anywhere. However, just because the Raiders don't want to deal him, if Davante feels frustrated, if Davante feels like no matter what he does, this organization is wasting his time, and if he asks for a trade, that's a lot different of a conversation, and that does make me nervous. And then I look at Adams the last 3 games here, okay? And I don't know what the disconnect is. His target share has been going down a little bit. Again, this is new QB. Maybe that's part of it. 8 catches, 75 yards. But then against his old team, the Green Bay Packers, can't get the offense going. Week 6, again, can't get the offense going. The Raiders have one of the worst offenses in the NFL, and Davante probably feels the way that a lot of Raider fans feel right now. We knew that this was going to happen. Why are we still trying to do the whole Jimmy Garoppolo, Josh McDaniels experiment? It's exhausting. That's why Raider fans are so mad with the whole Josh McDaniels thing, the whole Jimmy Garoppolo thing. It's exhausting because everybody but, I guess, this coaching staff knew that Jimmy Garoppolo and McDaniels weren't going to work out. So I pray, okay? I pray that Josh McDaniels isn't that dumb to trade away Davante Adams. And I don't think that Josh McDaniels is that dumb to trade away Adams. But what I am worried about is Davante thinking that he's wasting his time. And he says, hey, if y'all aren't going to appreciate me, I'm going to stop wasting my time here, and I'm going to go take advantage of my prime years with a team that's actually going to use me. So, Davante Adams' struggles to me, And when I say Davante Adams' struggles, I don't mean Davante Adams is struggling. And I'm actually like laughing out loud the amount of people that thought the Jimmy Garoppolo interception was on Davante Adams this past week because he put him in a terrible position. It was a great play by Jabril Peppers, no doubt about it. But there's people out there that actually think that Davante dropped that ball, got popped up in the air, and that interception was on Davante. If you think that, man, I'm never going to take football advice from you. That I can guarantee you. But Davante Adams' struggles are on Jimmy Garoppolo, and they're on Josh McDaniels because they're too predictable. All NFL teams are doing, not only are they stacking the box right now, they're doing everything that they can to take away Garoppolo's first read, which is, guess who? Davante Adams. So what are teams doing? They're trying to get really close to Davante. They're having one guy over the top. They're taking away the inside slant route because they know that Jimmy G is Davante Adams, Jacoby Myers, check down. That's what it's been the entire season. And if McDaniels and Jimmy G don't figure it out, Davante's going to continue to struggle. Well, maybe not struggle. Not going to put up Davante Adams type of numbers here. Coming up next here on the show, is Aidan O'Connell going to get the start this week? I know a lot of questions around Jimmy Garoppolo, whether or not he's going to end up playing in this game. For those that don't know the latest around number 10, Ian Rappaport on Monday said that the Garoppolo could miss this game with a back injury. Josh McDaniels took the podium yesterday and also said that the Raiders dodged a bullet and Jimmy Garoppolo dodged a bullet with what they originally thought that the injury could be. Jimmy G did not play in the second half of the game against the New England Patriots, actually was taken to the hospital. And when I heard that the Raiders were taking him to the hospital and I saw the back injury, honestly, I was worried that it was something internal because the way that you're holding that area, I mean, you just never know exactly what's happening. But it sounds like right now Jimmy G is less likely to play than him actually having a chance to go out there and play. So does that mean it's going to be Aidan O'Connell? Is it going to be Brian Hoyer? I do think that people need to see who's taking those first-team reps because the last time this happened, O'Connell took the majority of the first-team reps on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then he ended up getting the start against the Los Angeles Chargers. So Hondo Carpenter, he had this to say on Twitter. Aidan O'Connell, no doubt, will start against the Bears if Jimmy G can't. I'll say I appreciate Hondo really pushing McDaniels' buttons during the press conference on Monday because everybody else that asks questions just tries to throw up softballs to McDaniels, but shout out to Hondo for actually asking questions that people care about. On top of that, though, the last time we had this conversation, Hondo was saying that Brian Hoyer was going to be the starter. It's going to be Brian Hoyer, and then it went to Aidan. All I'm saying is this. Keep your eyes out. Watch for the amount of updates as possible. I'll do my best to keep you guys up to date on here. I'll do my best to keep you up to date on social media. But let's just say the Raiders got smart, and they asked us, pick a starter, Brian Hoyer or Aidan O'Connell. I get it. Aidan struggled in his first game. He struggled against the Los Angeles Chargers. He was also sacked 7 times. Put the ball on the ground 3 times, had a bad interception at the end of the game. Or do you roll with the veteran, Brian Hoyer, who was 6-10, 102 yards, and looked pretty damn good this past week against the New England Patriots. Let me know, BH or AOC. My answer is it's Aidan O'Connell, and it's not even close to me. And the reason why I say that is because the Raiders, yes, you're 3-3, but anybody that's watched the Raiders for 6 weeks, there's no way you can honestly sit here and say that this is a playoff caliber team. They're not. They've played bad teams. Luckily, they've been able to win some football games, but if you actually want to see what this team can actually achieve, you go with Aidan O'Connell. You go with Brian Hoyer, and you might as well just say, I'm not trying to make the playoffs. You might as well just say, I'm not trying to win football games because I've seen Hoyer play for a long time, okay? Not the answer. Aidan might be the answer. Now, sure, you're going to take your lumps here because that's what's going to happen with a rookie, but you need to see what you have in Aidan O'Connell because of how good the draft class is next season. So to me, I'd say if Jimmy G can't play, there is a 75% chance that Aidan O'Connell starts over Brian Hoyer. McDaniels was asked who's going to be the starting QB if Jimmy G can't go. His answer was essentially, we're going to go with the guy that we think gives us the best chance to win. I'm telling you who that is. It's Aidan O'Connell. Give the kid some time to throw the football. The offense is going to open up a whole lot more, and I promise you, the offense will be able to move the football against the Chicago Bears. So Jimmy, he was signed to start, and this is something that people really, really need to remember. And as soon as the Raiders moved on from Derek Carr. One of the things that we said here was if the Raiders go out and sign Jimmy Garoppolo, and then as soon as they sign Jimmy G, we sat up here on this show and said they're going to add Brian Hoyer. They went out and added Brian Hoyer. Then we sat up here on this show and said, hey, they're going to go out and draft Aidan O'Connell. They went out and drafted Aidan O'Connell. The plan is this. Jimmy G was signed to start. Brian Hoyer was signed to run practice team while Jimmy G was not able to go from March to August, essentially. And Brian Hoyer is right now on the team to help practice squad, to help groom Aidan O'Connell. But when it comes down to push to shove, it's going to be AOC. Josh McDaniels sets his plans, and he sticks with it. And he already shows you what the plan is. I don't think the plan makes a lot of sense to have Brian Hoyer as the backup on game days and have Aidan as an inactive, but McDaniels doesn't do a lot of things that make sense. But when Jimmy G was hurt, and they had to make a decision back in week 4 who was going to be that starting QB, they rolled with Aidan. That plan is what McDaniels is going to go with. And for that reason is why I believe Aidan O'Connell will start this upcoming week against the Chicago Bears. If it's not the case, well, then I'm going to be yelling at McDaniels because if you can change that, you're going to roll with Hoyer, I'm going to expect you to change a lot more on the offensive side of the football. All right, Chuggs, I want you to name a player that the Raiders should trade for before the deadline. This is juicy. We got 900 people here. I think that the Raiders are going to be buyers. Everybody that I talk to, it sounds like they're going to be buyers. Who's one player that you're like, dude, realistic? Like
Danielle Hunter.
Danielle Hunter, I like that one.
Danielle Hunter, and then Danielle Hunter.
I'd say 2 other names, and I made a video about it. Carl Lawson, because it sounds like the Jets are shopping him. I also want the Raiders to go out and trade for Leonard Williams. Defensive tackle.
I think that's less realistic.
I agree, but we know how much relationships matter. The best Leonard Williams has ever been. 11.5 sacks. Patrick Graham is a DC.
I feel like the Giants would at least want a second or a third round pick, and I don't know if the Raiders are willing to give that up.
So when I talked to Marsh, our Giants host, I think he said a 4th.
Marsh, a 4th for Leonard Williams?
I forget what he said.
A 4th or 5th?
He said a 4th or 5th pick for Leonard
Really?
Williams. Well, it's his final year of his contract. He's not going to come back, and he hasn't been as good recently.
I'd do it for a 4th.
I mean, 4th or 5th round pick, where the hell do I sign up?
Yeah.
I mean, in a freaking heartbeat, man. In a heartbeat. Pushing the charter, says Leonard Williams. PG, Khalil Mack, I wish. Somebody just said Cooper Rush. Miguel says, dude from the Panthers. That's
Albert
Brian
Ainsworth.
Burns. Brian Burns, again, I think you're going to have to give up a first-round pick. The video I made last week around Burns was not including a first, but that's because it was deals that I would make. And if they're like, no, well then no, I'm not giving up a first for Brian
Mitch
Burns.
We're laughing at one of those, whatever Nation articles. Brian Burns would fit with the Raiders defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Brian Burns would fit with almost any defense in the NFL.
If Brian Burns doesn't fit in your defense, it's your defense is the problem.
How Patrick Mahomes could fit with the Raiders.
Aaron Donald could have success on these 5 teams. Like, those are the type of articles that sometimes I laugh at, man. I really, really do. But hey, I get it. People got to make content. I got to make content too.
This is on me.
All right.
I realized I didn't even show this in the build-up.
Let's do Venmo 50-50 raffle at the very, very end. $10 to enter. Venmo me at Mitchell Renz 365 if you want in. Remember, though, 2 L's, not 1 L. There's somebody who is a fraud on Venmo stealing money from Raider Nation. They only have 1 L. They have a picture of Jeremy and I. Don't send it to them because I've seen a few people unfortunately get got, and I'm trying to not have you get got. So if you want to join our 50-50 raffle here, Venmo me at Mitchell Renz 365 for a chance to get in. Because I think we all know everybody wants a chance to get in, right? I think we all want that. 930 people here. We got 317
Martin.
Likes.
Thank you, Martin.
Let's get to 500 likes. I know we can do it. Can we get to 500 likes? Pushing 10 Charter says people are ruthless. People suck. What's even worse is whoever made this is clearly a Raider fan, and they're trying to steal from other Raiders fans. Though, I do have their address. I'm still working on their first and last name. I know. I've done a lot of combing on Venmo. I've sent some money. Huh?
You can. There's websites you can put that in, and it'll tell you
whose
house it is.
I think I have their first name, but there's it's a very common name. So I think I got it though. I think I got it. Primo says, give me the address. I'm not going to put it up on here because I don't want to do that, but I do have the address. So it's all good.
Oh.
What up, Primo?
Are you like, send me the money now or else?
No, we've reached out to Venmo, and it's against the law to do what they're doing. So, I mean, they'll probably end up getting an investigation or something, which, is what it is. But is what it is. What up, Jesse? What up, Primo? What up, hey, Martin, Mario? Hardcastle says, I'm here. Shout out to Hardcastle for being here in the building.
In relation to White.
White Castle. Have you, dude, I don't know. I think White Castle sucks.
I've never had it.
It's not good.
I have not heard good things, though.
I think I've had White Castle 2 or 3 times, and yeah, wasn't pretty, but like in every asset, it just was not pretty. Also, Robert Fravor, you in? Let me add Robert here.
Wait. Next.
What?
Please.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you. All right, Robert Frav in, and then Jeffrey Kreischer in. We got 2 people in the duck race, which means you'd get $10.
If it's just y'all 2,
yeah, we would.
We'll go everything.
We would. Don't worry. We'd send you your money back. I laugh at the one super chat that just came in because it's 100% true. 100% true. All right, the next segment that we're going to get into here is going to be around Hunter Renfrow and a potential trade.
We actually do have 2 super chats.
2 to go through.
From Clarence Snyder Jr.
What up, Clarence? Also, every $10 super chat that we get, for those that don't remember, I am adding names to our Raiders Helmet Hall of Fame.
Facts.
Yep, Raiders Helmet Hall of Fame. So I just saw an update around Tom Brady, so I was like, oh, shit, what's going on here? But
Nico, any Latina girl can find you that name, social security numbers, social profiles, an astrological sign in about 5 seconds, bro. My girl can offer FBI services if needed.
What's funny is I saw like a meme around this, and I sent it to my fiance, Alex, who also Latina, and she was just laughing about it because the digging that she can do sometimes is kind of wild. It really is.
She's like, you wouldn't believe who's stealing money from you in that they're a Capricorn.
Yeah. Yeah, turns out they're, I was going to say, what am I? I'm a Pisces. What are you?
Virgo.
A Virgo? I was going to say, do you believe in like the horoscope readings?
Not a chance.
Okay, I'm glad. If anybody believes in horoscope readings, I'm happy for you, but I can't wrap my mind around it. Like Alex has this one friend, and I hope she's not watching. I don't know why she would be.
Today's such a rough day because I'm a Scorpio. It's a rising moon in the east side, so I better not drive late at night. Like,
No.
What do you even mean?
She's got a friend that she's literally doesn't date guys based on their sign. She's like, I'm a Scorpio, I can't date a Pisces type of deal. I'm like, that's insane to me. Like, how does that make sense?
How could I go on a date with you in the movies when there's a rising moon on the west side? No chance. And you're a Capricorn? No thank you.
Dan D says Gemini. What's your sign?
Seeps, what's your sign?
I'm the sign.
Seeps, what's your sign?
Well, his birthday was yesterday, so what's October?
You have no idea.
Libra.
Libra.
I should know that because Alex is a Libra.
That.
Dude,
he looks like a Libra.
Seeps is a Libra. Chip is, I think, just a chip. I think that's the sign.
I think Chip's sign is a Frito.
Yeah. Looks like a Pringle.
Oh, a Leo.
Oh,
Close.
yeah,
Frito
yeah.
Leo.
Leo.
Frito Leo.
Husker says a stop sign. Fair enough. Zalesbo says Gemini. My sign is...
They said Gemini with the devil face. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, Aquarius from Rusty T. Scorpio.
They said Gemini.
Cancer from Raider Rob. Gemini again. And then Primo just says, my wife hates me. So I'm guessing you're a Libra. I don't know.
McDaniels is a...
Hellcat Q is a pickle?
McDaniels is a Cornquarius?
I didn't know where you were going to go with that. All right, I think we're done here with the
Jeff said, Libra gang, stand up.
Where are my Pisces at? Where are my Pisces at? Shout out. All right, y'all.
All right.
Let's get into a Hunter Renfrow trade segment.
Let's get into a Hunter Renfrow trade segment.
Oh, sponsor?
Yes, there is one.
Is there?
Yeah.
And it's...
And I hope you're hungry.
Oh, dude, starving right now. I can't wait to go home, crush some food. Sounds pretty damn good to me. All right, Jeremy, you ready? You guys ready? We're going to get into Hunter Renfrow trade rumors. That's going to be coming up here right now on the Raiders Report. Will the Las Vegas Raiders trade away Hunter Renfrow this week? I'm going to give you my answer here. I'm Mitchell Renz, host of the Raiders Report, and there's been a lot of rumors circulating around number 13, and this is a player that I get it. Raider Nation loves. I love Renfrow. We always have the respect for him because he was a solid player when we needed him the most. But for those of you that watch this show, where there is smoke, there is usually fire. And I am telling y'all right now, the amount of smoke that's going on right now around Hunter Renfrow, it's getting to be a little bit intoxicating. I don't even know if that's the right word to use for it. But you know what? If Renfrow does end up getting dealt, we're going to go live here on the Raiders Report. Hell, if any trade ends up going down before the NFL trade deadline, we will be making a video. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you got those notifications turned on. I don't want you to be the Raider fan that's like, yo, you think the Raiders are going to trade Renfrow? And then you got Tropical Kyle down in the comments, and he's like, are you kidding me? The Raiders Report, they already talked about that 20 days ago. Don't be that guy. Hit that subscribe button. So let's go to the graphic that gets Raider fans as excited as any that I've seen. Is a Renfrow trade going to be happening? Well, according to Diana Rossini, she says the Raiders have been trying to trade Hunter Renfrow. We talked about this earlier in the week. We also talked about it a little bit later last week as well. And yes, the Raiders are right now trying to move on from Renfrow, and they've been taking calls. They've been trying to do some different things here and there. But again, the way that the whole smoke and fire thing works is this. When it's a lot of reporters saying the exact same thing, chances are it's true. And if you didn't see the exact quote from Diana, here it is. Leak sources say they are trying to trade receiver Hunter Renfrow, whom they have used minimally this season. And if you remember, when I was live during our tailgate party, you can go back if you don't believe me, Raiders-Patriots, I got a message that said the Raiders are really going to try and trade Renfrow this week. As soon as I heard that, I go, man, I don't know how much you're going to see Renfrow out on the field against the New England Patriots. What ends up happening? Then the Raiders, they don't target Renfrow, and he plays in 7 snaps, I think is what it ended up being. Usually, when teams are trying to trade away players, you see exactly what the Raiders did to Hunter Renfrow. Then that guy ends up getting dealt. So again, a lot of smoke around Raiders trying to move on from Renfrow. It was happening all in the offseason. The thing right now holding up the Renfrow trade, this was confirmed by Jordan Schultz, and in fact, he just put it out there a few minutes ago. Apparently, Renfrow wants out of Las Vegas, and according to Schultz, the Raiders also want to move on from Renfrow, but the thing holding it up, it's the money. There's not many teams right now that want to take on Renfrow's contract being what it is, and if they were to trade him right now, the team would probably end up having to take on like $7 million because at the beginning of the year, Renfrow got 13.1. But I'm a believer in trends, and I'm a believer that teams tell you what they're doing before it actually happens. Here's Hunter Renfrow's last 5 games, okay? The number on the left is how many snaps he played, and then the percentage is how many snaps overall it ended up being. So as you can see here, in week 2, 26 snaps. That was 65% of the snaps, which is sad. That just shows you how many plays the Raiders did not run against Buffalo. Then in week 3, 37 snaps. That was 50%. Week 4, 33, 45%. 20 snaps against the Packers, 31%. 10% of snaps against the Patriots. I'm bad at math. Okay, but I believe every single person right now sees this trend. And the trend is Hunter Renfrow is getting less and less and less and less playing time. And right before all the big time rumors and all the smoke started going, you saw him get used the least that you ever have. Why? The Raiders don't want Renfrow to get hurt because they know if he's hurt, they're stuck with him. And the fact that they're trying to move on from him, and yes, there are teams that are interested, but it's the money that's holding it up right now. So are the Raiders going to be buyers? Are they going to be sellers at the deadline is a question. I know that they're going to be buying. However, I am very confident in saying that I'm a huge believer that they will be selling Hunter Renfrow by the October 31st deadline, which is at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Another reason to hit that subscribe button. Chuggs and I, we're going to be live all day on Halloween, waiting for trades to end up going down. Games until then, you got the Bears, then you got the Detroit Lions on Monday Night Football. The Raiders have been looking to do player-for-player trades. That was something that Diana reported last week. Maybe it's going to be Renfrow for a player straight up. Could absolutely happen. Could just be Renfrow for, well, I'll tell you what I think Renfrow is worth in a trade here in just a minute. So coming up here next, if I'm going to sit up here and say that I think Renfrow is going to get dealt, I'm going to give you the top 5 destinations for number 13, and then at the very end of the show, I'm going to tell you what he's worth in a trade, because I reached out to 3, I'll call them NFL insiders that cover a bunch of different teams, and I'll tell you what they told me what Renfrow is worth. Now, if you don't know, shout out to our sponsor, Factor Meals. I don't know if you can hear Jeremy in the background. He's going, you know why? Factor? Shit's fire, man. And you can go make sure your stomach is nice and full. You can be a happy person, because I don't know about you, when I'm hungry, I kind of get a little bit hangry. And if you're too busy this fall to cook but still want to make sure that you're eating well, with Factor, you can skip the trip to the grocery store, all the chopping, the prepping, and cleaning up too, while still getting the flavor and nutritional quality that you need. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutes, so all you have to do is heat and enjoy, then get back to crushing your day. This October, get Factor and enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered to your door, ready in just 2 minutes. No prep, no mess. Head to factormeals.com/RaidersChat50 and use code RaidersChat50 to get 50% off. That's code RaidersChat50 at factormeals.com/RaidersChat50 to get 50% off. And if you're like, Mitch, I still don't know what the link is, I don't know what the code is, don't worry. Chuggs put it down in the comments, and he put it down in the description as well. I promise you this. If you're a busy person and 1, 2, hell, even 3 days out of the week, you're like, man, I just don't have time to cook dinner, and I definitely don't have time to clean up, Factor is going to be awesome food. I know when I heard microwave, I was like, no way. It's 10 out of 10 times better than what you think it is in your mind. All right, let's keep it rolling here with Hunter Renfrow. I wouldn't trade Factor for anything. Renfrow, though, I would trade him for some picks, which I'll tell you here in just a second. This season, he has been targeted 9 times. He has 6 catches for 59 yards. And basically, since he's been with Josh McDaniels, man, we got to be able to face the facts here. McDaniels has not used Renfrow at all. He has played in, I'm going to say, 17, 18 games, has got 1 start. To me, though, the teams that would be interested in trading for him, the Buffalo Bills. And for people who watch the show, this list really has not changed for me, because I believe Buffalo, yes, they look great sometimes, but then they also have that clunker of a game like they did against the New York Giants. And Josh Allen has succeeded when he's had a receiver like a Cole Beasley. Now you can get a Hunter Renfrow. The New Orleans Saints, if there's one team that has already shown you this year, man, they had Lynn Bowden Jr. down there. They had Brian Edwards at one time down there. They have Foss Moreau down there now, Derek Carr. DC, the best DC's ever had, and the best Renfrow's ever been, is with that. So I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get that pairing together, since that offense has been struggling the way that it has. The New England Patriots. If there was a trade that I think could go down, Kendrick Bourne for Hunter Renfrow straight up is an intriguing one to me. The Minnesota Vikings, they need another Adam Thielen. Since they've lost him, he's not there. And then the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens, I do believe, could use a slot receiver like Renfrow. So what do you all think? If we were live on the show right now, I just look down and I go, oh my God, Hunter Renfrow just got traded. Which team do you think he's going to? What team do you believe is the most likely, picks up the phone, calls McDaniels, calls Ziegler, and says, I want Hunter Renfrow? Let me know, because coming up here on the show, I'm about to tell you what I think Renfrow is worth in a trade. Before I get into that, I do want to keep you up to date on when Jeremy and I are going to be live this week. We go live every Monday and Tuesday. You might as well already put that in your calendar. Live Raiders Report, Monday, Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. Then we go live on Thursday. We do a little Thursday Night Football, have a little fun. Thursday, let the hair down a little bit. And, yeah, we slam a few brewskis, no doubt about it. But you know what? We get to watch Derek Carr this Thursday. I'm excited. Then live Sunday. It's an early morning for people out there on the West Coast, but I need y'all to rally. We're going to be battling Bears Now, our third biggest channel here at Chat Sports. The Raiders Report, in terms of subscribers, is the second biggest. We're taking on the third biggest in a big-time super chat subscriber battle. I need the entire nation to rally because they've been talking hella shit. Hella shit. So let's get in now to what the Renfrow trade value is, okay? So over the last, I'll say 48 hours, I've made some phone calls. I've texted a few people. And there's a guy, he covers the NFC or a NFC team, and he told me what you would get for Renfrow is a 5th round at best. Then I reached out to a friend of mine who covers an AFC team, and he said a 6th round pick seems fair. Then I talked to another guy who I trust very, very much in the NFL world, and he said the Randy Gregory trade. So I know there's a lot of Raider fans out there that think, oh, we're going to get a 2nd round pick, a 3rd round pick, a 4th round pick for Renfrow. You ain't getting that. Like, I'm sorry, you're not going to get it. This is a yard sale type of a deal, and yes, I think Renfro's a good player, but you got to understand where the hell this team has been and where Renfrow is right now, and a lot of people don't look at him as the way that I think Raider fans look at him, because Raider fans see 100-catch Hunter Renfrow. The rest of the NFL looks at, oh, he had 36 grabs last year, and he's not even getting used this year. So you got to think about that in terms of value. And then you also got to add the money on top of it. If you don't know what the Randy Gregory trade was, this is what it was. The Broncos receive a 6th round pick. The Niners get Randy Gregory and a 7th. This is the deal that I think fans would be really upset if it ended up going down because of the money and how it works. But there's a part of me that wonders, could it be this? Could it be Raiders get a 6th round pick, and then the other team gets Hunter Renfrow in a 7th? To me, the value that it ends up coming out, and again, I've said this multiple times here on this show. Raiders get a 6th, NFL team receives Hunter Renfrow. I believe that at best, the Silver and Black will get a 6th round pick for Renfrow. But hey, what do you guys think? This is a show about the nation. It is. It's just a cold, hard fact. What do you think Hunter Renfrow is worth in a trade? Is he worth a 3rd round pick? Is he worth a 7th round pick? Is he worth a 4th, a 2nd? I've seen all the answers out there, and I've heard people say a whole bunch of different things to me. If Mitch, you don't know what trades are. If there's one thing that I feel like I've actually been pretty damn spot on, it's been my draft coverage here of the Raiders in terms of players that are good and bad, and it's been what players are worth in a trade. I take a lot of pride in that. So Buzz-O-Matic says 6. I see some people down in the live comments saying 5. I want to know from all of you, what do you think Hunter Renfrow is worth in a trade? All right, Chuggs. No bias. Now, you help out a lot of other channels here at Chat Sports. You listen to what other people say on their shows. Mm-hmm. What do you think the Raiders would get for Renfrow?
I mean, if we're being completely honest, Randy Gregory, maybe in some eyes, more useful, better player than Hunter Renfrow right now, and you got a pick swap.
Yep.
6 for 7th. I honestly think the Raiders are getting a 7th round pick.
Yeah. I mean, again, like I've talked to some people, and that's what NFL teams are going to do. NFL teams, it's a very copycat type of league, right? And there's going to be somebody that looks at the Randy Gregory trade, and they're like, why is Randy Gregory going for that, and Hunter Renfrow is going to go for this?
Because, I mean, if you ask most teams, they'd probably rather trade for Randy Gregory than for Hunter Renfrow at this moment.
Yeah, I do not disagree with you. And I think Renfrow can be a good player. He's got to be in the right system, but we'll see. It's the money that's holding it up.
Yeah.
And then when teams also hear, that's being reported by Jordan Schultz, that Renfrow also wants to be traded, that doesn't help his value at all. Also, I got 2 more people in the duck race. Justine in, and then Norman, you also in. So right now, if you want to get in our 50-50 raffle, it's going to be at the very end of today's show. $10 to enter. Scan that QR code with your phone or camera.
Right now, winner gets $20, so they just double up.
Right now, winner gets $20. Not bad. $20 to the winner. What do we think here? Ronnie says burn a 3rd rounder. Sounds good to me. You're not getting a 3rd rounder for him. If they end up getting a 3rd rounder, if they get anything higher than a 4th, I'll do a boot on the house. I literally don't think it happens. There's just no way. Unless, now when I say fourth, I mean like, if there's like other crazy shit that goes down in the trade, if it's just pick for player.
Yeah.
Pick for player. I 6 at the absolute best. Yeah, Preston says Burns for a third rounder and Renfrow. Yeah, you got to throw, it would honestly be like Burns for a first, a third, and Renfrow. Is what I think the actual deal would be worth. Yeah. You're not getting them. Not getting them.
You're at least putting in a first round pick.
Again, Renfro's worth a 6th. They've once turned down a trade for 2 first rounders. So,
which I don't know if that's completely true.
I agree with that. I agree with the sentiment of sometimes teams just say that they did that, so other teams are like, oh, well, we have to offer in that ballpark. Because I don't think a team's giving up 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns. Sorry, don't think it's going to happen. Don't think it happens. What up, Jersey boy Greaser? I see a few more super chats. We're rolling in here on the show. PG, F&N McClowney can figure out how to get DA in the game. I think that there's 2 parts to this, right? I do think that the Raiders need to do a better job of getting Davante Adams involved, and it shouldn't be very difficult to get Davante involved. But the problem is right now is I think it's honestly more on Garoppolo than it is Josh McDaniels, and that's coming from me. Y'all know I do not like McDaniels at all, but right now the problem is Jimmy G, and teams are figuring out what Jimmy G does. He looks once, he looks twice. It's a shitty situation. But the other side of it is this. When you go back and you watch the tape of that Patriots game, could he have gotten maybe another target or 2? Sure. But you knew what the Raiders were going to be going up against because, like, let's face it here, that's what New England does. They make you beat them with other players, and they did everything in their power to take away Davante. I do want to mention we got some Raiders news that just went across here. It's a roster move. The Las Vegas Raiders, they just signed Jalen McKenzie to the practice squad.
Woo!
And then they just released Malik Flowers from the practice squad. So Malik Flowers got released.
Aww.
Wide receiver Malik Flowers released. Jalen McKenzie signed to the practice squad. That's the news that just happened. Jersey boy, what about Renfrow and a 6 for Yannick Ngakoue? I don't see this one happening. What position? Jalen McKenzie is a tackle. Malik is a wide receiver. Again, this is not a deal that I think ends up going down, though Ngakoue has not been all that great this season. Like, he's good at being able to get after the quarterback, but his ability to stop the run, I mean, it makes him a major, major liability in that regard.
I'm putting 10 minutes on the clock.
Yeah.
We're going to do 10 minutes of your Renfrow trade ideas.
Oh, okay.
Hashtag Raiders.
I like it.
You don't have to super chat. If you want to get ahead of the line, you can super chat. But I want to give everybody a chance. Send in what you would do. If you were the GM, if you were Dave Ziegler, get on today's show. We want to hear from you. What's your Renfrow trade idea? Let me know. I think we're all in agreement that the Raiders should trade Renfrow.
Yep.
What would you do?
Okay, I like this one. So if you want to get your trade ideas on the show, what the hell? Aaron Wilson just reported the Raiders released Blake Martinez from IR. Blake Martinez isn't even on the team. Is he? This is from last year. Blake Martinez retired. Am I on drugs? I don't know. Am I crazy? Aaron Wilson, Raiders released Blake Martinez from IR. I mean, he retired, I want to say, in week 8 last year. Is that insane? Yeah, Preston says Blake retired, I thought. I don't know. I think it might just be paperwork that just went through, but I'm pretty sure he retired like week 8 last year. I know he retired. I just don't remember exactly what week it was. Yeah, as Lesbo said, he retired. Chuggs, do you see any trades?
We have one right here.
Yep. I think if it's the one I'm looking at. Keystone Raider, Renfrow to the Texans for a 4th or 5th. All right, you also do some Texans videos. How would you counter that?
No. I'll give you a 6. The Texans already have a bunch of young receivers. The only receiver that the Texans would want to bring in is if it's like a star receiver.
Sure.
Like they would trade for a T. Higgins. They would trade for last year, a DJ Moore, a player like that. They already have a bunch of young, promising guys. It wouldn't make sense to bring in somebody to take snaps away from those guys.
No, I agree. All right, let's say the Raiders want a 4th or a 5th. Hunter Renfrow, who's another player that you might want to say, all right, if you want a 4th or a 5th, add this guy in. What position do the Texans need?
They need defensive tackle.
Oh, can't help you there. Sorry.
Not good.
Yeah, that deal's not getting done.
Yeah.
You might as well throw that one right out the window. Sorry.
Now, the Texans have a surplus at linebacker.
Okay, I'm listening.
The Texans might be willing. Now, I don't know if the Raiders are willing to give up any draft capital, but it would be Renfrow and maybe a 5th or 6th for Denzel Perryman.
See, I don't think they need Perriman back. Honestly, they have Robert Spillane has played a lot better than expected. Like again, I can't believe I'm saying this. I don't even think that they need to trade for a linebacker. Like if you're gonna make a deal to me, you either make a deal at defensive tackle or defensive end. That's it. Like those are the two biggest positions you need on defense. Your corners have actually been playing pretty well. I'm excited to see what the cornerback room looks like this week, just because Jacorian has really, really struggled. Amik did okay. He struggled a little bit last week, but they just signed Sam Webb to the practice squad. You're going to see Sam Webb on the field this week. It's going to be interesting. And I hope that we see Nate Hobbs too. Jaime, what O-line player can we get for him, player for player?
So, somebody that might be on the trade block has been in some NFL trade rumors. But again, it's another situation where you'd be giving Renfrow and sending a pick to the Patriots for Mike Onwenu, their guard.
See, here's the thing. I don't think that the Raiders believe that they need an offensive lineman. I think that they're confident in their offensive lineman. They like Colt Miller. They like Dylan Parham. They like Andre James. Right guard's kind of the wishy-washy position. However, though, you can kick Jermaine Illuminor in at right guard. You could potentially go with Thayer Munford. I will say that I don't think the offensive line is their problem. And I know a lot of Raider fans might disagree with me on that. The reason why the Raiders' offensive line stinks is because nobody respects who's at QB. They stack the box, and then that's just never going to be a recipe for success. I'm sorry. Patrick B., Hunter from Minnesota. I wish. I think it'd have to be Hunter Renfrow and probably like a 3rd or a 2nd round pick for Danielle Hunter. Like, the last time I talked to our Vikings guy here, Seeps, he said 2nd round pick for Danielle Hunter. So I'd say Hunter Renfrow and a 3rd, or it might still be a 2nd for Danielle. Honest to God. Let's go to Ron Raspberry. I've been trying to ask you guys what you think about Kendrick Bourne for Renfrow and a 6th. To me, this is a deal. I literally said it a few minutes ago. If you told me the Raiders made a wide receiver trade straight up with the New England Patriots, this would be the guy they'd go out and get. That coaching staff loves Kendrick Bourne. I know Dave Ziegler, I know McDaniels love Bourne. They think he's a really good all-around player. It could be a good locker room fit. But Renfrow and a 6 for Bourne, again, it's not what I want to do. To me, the offense shouldn't be the problem. The problem to me, you want to fix the offense, you get a different quarterback. Like, to me, you have enough skilled position players. You have enough talented on that offense. I want to build the defense a little bit more. If I'm going to trade Renfrow, it's going to be a defensive tackle. It's going to be an edge rusher. That's what the Raiders need the most. Cameron, Renfrow plus a 1st and a 3rd for Leonard Williams.
And Jersey Boy actually said the same thing, Renfrow for Leonard Williams. Way too much.
Yeah, we talked to our Giants host here. He said you could probably get Leonard Williams for a 4th or a 5th round pick.
He also said the Giants won that Darren Waller trade, so.
I like what I've seen in Trey Tucker. I think he's a hell of a player, but they're not using him. Now, I don't think that the Raiders would have used Darren Waller as much because they haven't really gotten the tight ends involved, but go figure. They finally get your tight end involved, and he's 5 for 75 last week. Highlight King, Renfrow for Sheldon Rankins. This deal I like. I don't think that the other side likes it, but I want a defensive tackle.
The Texans, he's their best defensive tackle right now.
If you want a defensive tackle, and I've put this name out there before, Philadelphia Eagles, Milton Williams.
Look what he.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, Renfrow for Milton Williams. Like that's the deal that I would make.
The only thing that's holding this one up now, though, is that
Jalen Carter.
they just signed Julio Jones.
Yeah, it's totally different receivers, though.
I know, but if you're bringing on a receiver, it's not like you're going to bring on 2 more receivers onto your roster.
Sure. I mean, Jalen Carter also didn't play last week. He's battling an injury, and Philadelphia is coming off a loss. But Renfrow for Milton Williams is the type of trade in terms of the value at DT that I think that makes sense for a player-for-player trade, personally. But hey, Buckethead, Renfrow to the Saints for Nathan Shepard. I wish Trace was out here right now. I could ask him what he thinks of Nathan Shepard. Again, I don't have too much of an opinion on Shepard. I'd be lying to even say to you that I know how good he is. Nathan Shepard.
Defensive tackle.
Well, I know that, but I don't know how good he is. So PFF has him as a 57.8 overall grade. Pass rush grade of 78.6, run defense grade of 40.6, has played in just a hair over 200 total snaps.
Oh, he's been in the league for a minute.
1 sack, 4 hurries, 1 hit, 6 total pressures.
He's 30.
He's 30 years old?
He's been in the league since 2018, has all years with the Jets besides this past season. He signed with the Saints in free agency.
It's kind of an interesting move. I mean, he must have entered the NFL really, really late. Really, really late. Kind of wild. All right, the next segment coming up here on the show.
One more for you.
All right, Renfrow, a 2nd and a 5th for Chase Young. I don't know if Washington would do it. When we talked to our Washington insider here at Chat Sports, he actually told me that the Commanders will not trade Chase Young. The more likely player that they would trade at edge is Montez Sweat. So, Renfrow and a 3rd for Montez, I would do this deal. If you're telling me I can get Montez Sweat, that's a player I'd go out and get. Also, Aaron, you in?
Oh.
Aaron, you in? What up, Aaron? Chuggs, can you hold it down for like a minute or two? I got to go pee real quick. I mean, that boot's hitting me right now. I'm going to be real with y'all. No 2 o'clock, nothing like that. Nothing crazy here. So just hold down. I'll be back in 60 seconds.
All right. Run, Forrest, run. In that case, keep on sending those Renfrow trades. I'll answer a couple more while Mitch is tinkling. All right, let's see. Carter Reimer. Would you do Max Crosby for Caleb Williams? So you're basically asking, would I trade Max Crosby for the 1st overall pick this year? I'm going to go, Mitch is going to hate me. I would go yes. Mitch is going to hate me. I think I would go yes. You need a quarterback. I know Max Crosby is so good, and that's why you're able to trade him for this much. Would you do it at home? Max Crosby for the 1st overall pick this year for Caleb Williams, basically. No. Yes or no? Would you do this trade? Jesse says no, yes. No. Hell no. I mean, I don't even think a team would be willing to give up the 1st overall pick for Max Crosby either. A lot of no's rolling in though. Aggressive Masterator, you're high AF. Let me ask Harrison Graham, our Bears host. This is kind of a Bears question. Had the question roll in. Would you trade Max Crosby for the 1st overall pick? See, and everybody in the chat is saying, no way I would give up Max Crosby for the 1st overall pick.
No team in the NFL that's picking number 1 would trade that pick.
Yes.
Especially not.
That's why I said if it was a possibility, I would take the trade.
For the Raiders?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking to revamp
I mean,
That's your best asset. It would probably, you'd have to find a team, and it would probably be Crosby plus, like, your own first.
yeah.
Like, if you're picking 8.
I already know Mitch's answer to this. He would say hell no. But I think Raider fans, and it's a good and a bad thing. They fall in love with players so much that they can't there's still people who are like, oh, Hunter Renfrow for a third. Like they fall in love with players so much that they overvalue their guys to the moon, which is a good and a bad thing. It's what's up on screen right now.
Would you do Max Crosby for Caleb Williams?
I
Basically the number 1.
I said yes.
Man.
They asked me from a Bears perspective, like, would I trade, like, hypothetically, you want to keep Justin Fields, you need a pass rusher, would I trade him 1 for Max? I said, no way. And no team picking 1 would take that.
Yeah, I don't think this would be enough to get Caleb Williams, if I'm being honest with you.
But I'm saying, like, if the Bears were like, you know what, we'll do Max Crosby for the first overall pick, and you just have to give us a third.
I mean, here's the thing, like, if you can get your franchise quarterback from a terms of like value standpoint, the value's there. The value's there. I'm telling you, it sends a very, very bad message to an organization right now that nobody believes in and nobody trusts because of McDaniels and Ziegler and Mark Davis. Like, the value is there. For the Raiders, I just don't know if you can trade away Max Crosby, man. If you do that, the amount of pressure that goes on Caleb, I think the only way you do this, here's my answer. The only way you do this trade is if you also hire Lincoln Riley. That's the only way you do this. If you also hire Lincoln Riley. But that's Peyton says Max is our defense. I know. I do not want to trade away Max Crosby. It's a good question though, Carter. It's a really good question. Let's go to D. Sterling. I got a Charger fan page, so upset that they hit up my girlfriend, and she replied calling them a poverty franchise, roasting the Chargers, and he stopped responding. Are you a Chargers fan?
No, he said, I
get it.
got a Charger fan page so upset that they hit up my girlfriend, and she replied calling them a poverty franchise, roasting the Chargers, and he stopped responding.
He knows. I mean, did you see the picture going on around Twitter right now?
Apparently, the Chargers fan is a
the
Vikings
Chargers fan is so this is, huh?
A plant, right?
Yeah, it sounds like the fan that was on charge, like all over the Chargers thing yesterday. Apparently, the NFL just sends her to different teams and dresses her up. That's the rumor right now. I'm going around. I'm looking at some stuff. Again, the internet's an interesting place, but there's a picture of her in Viking stuff with skull on her forehead and just decked out in Vikings gear.
Beastly. Hunter Renfrow, Malcolm Kuntz, and a third for Judon.
Oh, boy. I mean, here's the problem. Judon's hurt right now.
Yeah, I don't even know if they can trade him.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, if Judon was 100% healthy, yeah, I'd probably do this deal. But he's not healthy right now. He's been banged up. I don't know what the injury is exactly. I don't know if he's going to be returning this week. I don't know the ins and outs of the New England Patriots, obviously, the way that I do the Raiders. But if he was 100% healthy.
I don't know the outs and ins.
I don't, man. I don't. All right, man. We got 800 people here in the building. If you haven't already, don't be shy. Click that like button. And also, if you want to enter our 50-50 raffle, we got 5 people in right now, which means you would go home with
$25.
$25. 10 to get in. At Mitchell Renz 365. The people that are in are Aaron, Norman, Justine, Jeffrey, and Robert. All 5 of y'all are in.
People.
Who?
1, 2, 3. Oh, I was reading your name.
It's 5.
Yeah.
It's 5. It's okay, though. It's okay. Somebody said Renfrow to the Jets for Carl Lawson. I don't think the value is there for the Jets. However, I do think it's an interesting deal. I do think it's an interesting deal. Coming up next here on the show is going to be a preview of Raiders against the Chicago Bears.
Good.
I wish I could. This game would be a fun one to go to. I've gone to a Bears game before. Bears-Packers about 5 years ago, probably at this point. That was in December. awesome game atmosphere. And I even ran into a Raider fan there, which is kind of wild. But hope for the nation is out in Chicago. It's going to be a rocking and rolling. What are you looking at? What's up? You all right? You feeling better?
So let me ask. Marsh knows ball. Of course. Let me ask you this question.
All right, let's ask.
If you are somehow hired as the Raiders GM this offseason,
Great move by them.
and
Yeah, probably.
the team with the first overall pick in this year's draft is willing to trade you that pick for Max Crosby, do you take that trade?
Do the Raiders take that trade?
Yes.
Absolutely. The team offering that trade would dissolve.
90% of the people in the chat said, no way the Raiders trade Max Crosby for the first overall pick.
They had Derek Carr jerseys too.
That's funny. That's funny. Oh, we just got another one in here. Mo, you in. Edwin, you in. So 7 people in.
Winner would get $35.
$35 to the winner. I like it. 35 to the winner. Okay. It's time now to get into our preview here against the Chicago Bears. You ready?
I'm ready.
You guys ready at home? I hope so. Also sponsor Prize Picks, right?
You know it.
All right, sounds good. Coming up right now, our Week 7 preview against the Chicago Bears. Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report, and we're going to be previewing, and I'm also going to be giving you my score prediction of the Raiders' Week 7 matchup against the Chicago Bears. The Silver and Black have won 2 games in a row, sitting there at 3-3, but they're going on the road in a hostile environment in Chicago, even though this team is 1-5. Lots of injury news to discuss, which we'll get to, and then we're also going to give you our keys to victory. But anytime we do a show like this, whether it's live, whether it's on a later date, there's going to be lots and lots of Bears fans in our chat. So all I ask you is this: hold it down. Treat this place like Oakland. If you're here on the Raiders Report, I want you to treat this like the Coliseum. Wear it with pride. So if you see anybody spamming Bears, type those LVs. We got to be loud. We got to be proud. So let me know who you got: Chicago Bears or the Las Vegas Raiders. Let's go to our keys to victory here. I got 5 keys on offense, and I'm going to go to 5 keys on the defensive side of the football. The first key on offense is spice up the offense. I want Josh McDaniels to treat this game like he's cooking. I don't want to just have bland chicken, no salt, no pepper, tastes like crap. No, put some spice into it a little bit. The reason why this Raiders offense is bad right now is because you got Jimmy Garoppolo, who stinks. Combine that with an offensive-minded guy that's got no creativity whatsoever. That gives you the Raiders product out on the field right now, which is one of the worst offenses in the National Football League. I don't know if it's going to be Brian Hoyer. I am anticipating that Aidan O'Connell is going to get the start here under center, and I'm telling y'all right now, Aidan O'Connell gives the Raiders a better chance to win than Jimmy Garoppolo, than Brian Hoyer. And he also has the arm that gives the Raiders offense more in general to do a lot more things because Jimmy G can't stretch the field. And teams don't respect Jimmy Garoppolo. We've seen it now for 4.5 games. They don't respect Jimmy G. I'm not saying they sit up here and they respect Aidan, but you know what? You can get them to respect you. How? Stretching the ball down the field, airing it out, throwing them on outside, inside. The Bears safeties have really struggled this season, especially in the coverage area. All I'm saying is spice up the offense because what you've been doing clearly isn't working. So we need to do something different. Let's go to the next key here. You got to get Davante Adams going. And I'm not always a big believer in forcing targets, but if there is one player I am okay forcing targets to, it's to Davante. There's been some rumors out there. There's reports that Davante left the Week 6 game against the Patriots early, a little bit upset, and maybe he's upset because the Raiders aren't using him, and it feels like he's wasting his time. So you know what a good head coach does? They go, all right, let's get Davante Adams involved. And that doesn't even seem like that's that bad of an idea, am I right? I mean, over the past 3 weeks, Davante hasn't gotten the usage that he's accustomed to. So if I am trying to do my job effectively, I'm going to try to figure out ways to get Davante in one-on-one situations instead of just always leaving him over on one side of the field and drawing up the same bland plays. I want to see the Raiders get Davante involved. The next key to victory here on offense is throw the ball to Josh Jacobs. As it stands right now, the Chicago Bears have given up the most receiving yards to the running back position. And a few weeks ago, I kind of talked about the same key with the Green Bay Packers. I don't really need to see Amir Abdullah get involved. I'm kind of good on that. Brandon Bolden, the fact that he's even making 2 point whatever million on this team and they never play him, that's an absolute joke. So what do I want to see Aidan do? The last time O'Connell was the starting quarterback, he got Josh Jacobs going through the air. And I get it. The Raiders, they cannot run the football right now. They are second worst team in the NFL, rushing yards per game. Jacobs hasn't been able to get it going because teams stack the box. How can you also run without actually running? You throw it to your running back in short instances, try to get him into space, and try to get the ball moving. The Bears have struggled this season covering the running back position. I want to really take advantage of that mismatch this upcoming week. The next thing is this. Let's get Michael Mayer involved. And said it last week, and maybe they watched this show because he had 5 catches for 75 yards. It's just going to open up the entire offense. On top of that, the Bears also are one of the worst teams in the National Football League at covering the tight end position. So let's get the tight end involved. Let's get Josh Jacobs going. And if you're able to take the attention off of Jacoby Myers and off of Davante for just a second because they're worried about baby Gronk here, I guarantee you it's going to lead to big things happening down the field. And then the last one is this, and it's the one that I will continue to say, and I almost get mad at myself for how many times I have put this on the show for keys to victory, because I always like to switch things up, but it's taking care of the football. Like, that is the most important thing that this Raiders offense can do right now. You are tied for second with the most giveaways on offense with 12. You can't have a rookie quarterback. You can't have Jimmy Garoppolo. You can't have your current quarterback situation turn the ball over the way that they've been turning the ball over. And I'm so confident right now in this Raiders defense against the Chicago Bears offense that if the Raiders don't turn the ball over, they will win this game. And that's as plain as simple as it can get. If the Raiders take care of the ball and they don't leave Chicago in short field positions, they will win this game because the Bears offense is not good enough to drive it on a consistent basis. Now, I'm going to give you my keys to victory here on defense in just a second. But hey, I love Prize Picks. I know that y'all are going to live them as well. And everybody watching right now, go get started with our sponsor. All you got to do is go to the link that you see down below, prizepicks.com/CLNS, and make sure that you use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks is daily fantasy sports made easy, and it's the most fun that I've had, winning up to 25 times my money this football season. You just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and then place your entry. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app out there. So if I'm going to sit up here and tell you, like, hey, I'm using it, well, I'm also going to tell you why I'm going with the picks that I'm going with. Derek Carr, Thursday Night Football, short week. Give me the less on his passing yards. Alvin Kamara, give me the more on his receiving yards because I know Carr is going to want to check it down here and there. And then, yeah, the New York Giants offense is bad right now. We can all agree on that, right? Arguably the worst offense in the NFL. I think it is actually statistically the worst offense in the NFL. So give me less on the rushing yards there by Saquon Barkley. And if this ends up hitting, shit, guess what? I make $50, and that sounds pretty good to me. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Easy and exciting daily fantasy, even if you're not really interested in watching a certain game. I'm telling you right now, you go to Prize Picks, you put down some money, you go more or less on a certain player, team, players, MLB, NBA, NFL. I'm telling you, you're going to be locked and loaded in that game. The entertainment value, it's there, and it's not even close. I promise, nation, you guys are going to love Prize Picks. So again, go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS. That link's going to be available to you all down in the comments and in the description of today's video. All right, let's go to the next thing here on the show. It's my 5 defensive keys. And if y'all don't already know, make sure you're subscribed because when Chuggs and I go live on Sunday for our watch party, it's going to be wild, and we're going to be taking down our Bears channel. 2 out of our 3 biggest channels here at Chat Sports, Raiders, Bears. And we're going to be challenging. We might not win on the field, but we will win here on YouTube. Let's go here to defense. Blitz, and blitz a little bit more. The latest around Justin Fields is they do not expect him to be able to play in this game. So whoever the hell is that quarterback, I mean, the Bears, at the time I am making this video, they signed Trace McSorley to the practice squad. Then you got the backup, what's his name? And then you got Nathan Peterman. Bajan, exactly. I don't even know the hell this guy's name. So guess what? He's not going to scare me. And the Bears are a team predicated on being able to use their athletic quarterback in Justin Fields. So you know what? I'm going to make this Bajan guy beat me. Blitz, get after him, make him uncomfortable because I don't think he's going to be good enough to beat you unless you let him sit back there because then anybody can probably do it in the NFL. Let's go to the next thing here. I want to stack the box. I do not want the Chicago Bears to beat us with their running game. They're going to try to run the football with Deonta Foreman. They're going to try to run the football with Khalil Herbert. It's what they do. They run the rock. Now, usually they have a running QB, and maybe that's why they got Trace McSorley here involved a little bit. I don't know the answer, but if you stack the box and make them throw it down the field, I believe our players are good enough to match up with them one-on-one minus one receiver, and I'll get to him here in just a second. The next key to victory is I'm putting Jacorian Bennett on the bench. Jacorian Bennett, in the nicest way that I can possibly say this, has been a liability. I mean, last week, he was 4 of 5, gave up 32 yards, a quarterback rating something like in the 100s, and the only ball that wasn't completed was the drop, like 55-yard ball to Devontae Parker. I mean, we just got to be able to face the facts here. Jacorian Bennett has been bad. He has been unreliable. To me, there's a reason why the Raiders went out and they signed Sam Webb to the practice squad. And I get it. I want to see Tyler Hall. I want to see Amik Robertson out there. And I want Jacorian to be able to develop into the player that I think he can be. But the Raiders run a lot of man. And right now, the quarterback rating against Jacorian Bennett in man coverage is 156. A perfect rating is 158.3. That's how bad Bennett has been in man coverage. He's been a little bit better in zone. He's somewhere around like a 95 quarterback rating against him. But here's the thing, right? Like, I'm a straight shooter. If I'm going to rip people apart, if I'm going to, praise people for being good, I got to be able to speak facts. And Jacorian Bennett is a liability right now on defense. You got to put him on the bench. You got to sit him and learn. He needs to get better because right now, you can't have him out there because that's where teams are going to go. And if I'm the Chicago Bears and I see Jacorian Bennett out there on the field, you know what I'm doing? I'm putting DJ Moore on him. And you cannot have that happen because my next key here is you take away DJ Moore. You know what the New England Patriots did last week to Davante Adams? That's what the Raiders need to do this week to DJ Moore. I don't care if you double team him. I don't care if every time he's out there on the field, you say, you know what? You're on him. That's it. I don't care if there's a guy wide open streaking down the field. DJ Moore will not catch a football. That is my goal because the Bears don't have any other playmakers out there that can beat you the way that DJ Moore can beat you. I think Cole Kmet is a good tight end. Not really worried about him all that much. I actually think Darnell Mooney is a halfway decent receiver. They just don't really use him. The one player that in a snap of a finger can change the game and can go 75, 80 yards is DJ Moore. I'm going to stack the box. I'm going to try to take away Khalil. I'm going to try to take away Deonta Foreman, but I know that I cannot let DJ Moore beat me. And then the final thing is this. No big plays. To me, the Bears are not talented enough on offense, even with Justin Fields. Now you take away Justin Fields, and now you're putting in a backup quarterback. They're not going to be able to go down the field 10 plays, 75 yards, touchdown. 7 plays, 8 plays, 9 plays. Offenses like the Bears with a backup QB, they don't have the talent to go that many play drives. They're going to rely on the deep ball. They're going to rely on a big play in order to get into the end zone. So if you're the Raiders, and I get it, Patrick Graham is a big bend but don't break type of guy. I want to see this defense get aggressive and be even more aggressive because they match up well with the Chicago Bears. Coming up next here is some injury news, and I've kind of already spoke about it a few times on this show, but the biggest injury news in this game, it's around the starting quarterbacks because I don't think you're going to see either starting QB in this one. Jimmy Garoppolo, I believe that he's going to be out on Sunday. Right now, it's reported that it's up in the air at the time that I'm making this video, but he suffered a back injury. McDaniels said that they dodged the bullet. From what I hear and from what I believe, it's going to be Aidan O'Connell. It might be Brian Hoyer. I do think that that would be a bad move by Josh McDaniels, but then again, it is Josh McDaniels after all. To me, it should be Aidan O'Connell going out there and being the starting quarterback of this team. And then another one is Justin Fields. He's doubtful to play on Sunday. dislocated his finger or something like that, which means now the Bears are in the exact same position. They're going to throw out a QB that has yet to get out there and has yet to really play. Is it going to be Tyson Bagent? I would love to see Tyson Bagent. I'll get it right sooner or later. Is it going to be Nathan Peterman? Again, they signed Trace McSorley today to the practice squad, but this is a Bears team that does not have good quarterback play. So you're going to get 2 backup QBs on Sunday at noon. Wake up early, baby. It's going to be must-watch TV, and we're going to be enjoying it here on the Raiders Report. So before I go, okay, I got to give you my score prediction. And as it stands right now, this is the lowest over-under of the entire week. 37 and a half. It might be the lowest of the entire year. You're right. It really might be. The Raiders are 3-point road favorites. It's because of the injury to Justin Fields. So what I want to know is this. What's your score prediction for the backup QB battle going on in Chicago? Predict the score. Bears, Raiders. Over-under is 37 and a half. If you want to give your score prediction, go ahead and give it.
Give me Raiders 9-6.
9-6. I know what you're going with. And that would be the worst watch party I think we've ever done. That might be just an absolute bore fest. If the Raiders win, then hey, you know, I would take it. My score prediction for this matchup is this. Give me the Las Vegas Raiders to win 23-13 against the Bears. I don't believe that the Bears are going to be able to march with this way this Raiders defense is playing with a backup QB. And yes, for the first time this season, the Raiders offense will score over 20 points. All right, Chuggs, let's give some shout-outs here to the score predictions that are rolling in here. I see Mr. Sane says 14-6. Buckethead's going to go 16-9. I got Rick. Shout out to Rick. Skit says 28-13. DeLong's going to go 27-13. Couple supers here to roll through. What do we got here?
Shane Gamble.
Trade Renfrow and a draft pick for Leonard Williams. In. I just don't know if the Giants are going to be buyers, man. Like, why would they buy? You know what I mean? Why would they buy right now? Let's go to the Great Tuna. Chuggs, I don't know if he's ever sent this in. What does that say?
Here's your daily shout out for locals. For the best content, personal interaction, and more live shows. And for the love of God, fire MC Clown.
Also, Patrick B., you in.
Seasonal.
You in, Patrick B.
Martin in the chat. Seasonal.
Martin actually messaged me on Twitter and he said, even if we never have the ability to hang out, he appreciates the fact that we wanted to hang out with him. So, Martin, I mean this. My cousin, she's actually moving to England. My cousin's moving to England. So I don't know exactly where you're at, Martin, but I'm already planning the trip over there.
Dude, if the Raiders have a game in London next year.
Oh, dude. I mean, I'll say this. My cousin Tori told me she was moving to Vegas. A year later, Raiders are out in Vegas. Now she's moving to England. Let's go to England.
Dude, if the Raiders have a game in London next year, we got to convince them.
I think we can. I think we might be able to.
Bro, Martin, we will eat bangers and mash together. I promise you that.
And drink tea. Actually, I won't drink tea. I'll probably drink coffee.
Guinness.
Oh, really? Are you a Guinness fan?
Win in Rome.
When in Rome. Yike.
Patrick B., a bong and a blintz.
Sure. I mean, when in Rome, right? Brandon, cheers to you. Also, the Great Tuna is in.
Oh, he's in?
He's in.
What is he in for, Mitch?
If you don't know what you're in for, $10 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365 to do a duck race. I don't want to do ducks, though. I want to do something different. Yesterday we did ducks. You got to pick something different. Right now, the winner gets $45.
All right.
10 to get in.
I have it.
10 to get in. Winner right now gets 45. After this, I'm heading out. After this, heading out.
After this, me and Mitch, we're going to make like a baby and head out.
Nice. Oh, dude, this is funny. So, for the record, it is confirmed that Chargers fan was also a Vikings fan. It's
Really?
confirmed. So
What
she
did they
said
say?
on the Pat McAfee show that she became a Chargers fan when her and I guess her husband moved to Los Angeles in 2017. I don't know. This whole situation is fishy to me. But then again, I mean, I'll tell you what. I don't know the last time I laughed that hard watching an NFL game, but Alex and I, we were watching it, and we were just dying laughing at this woman. You could tell she wanted to win. You could tell that she wanted to win. But hey, Chargers fans is what it is, right? Ricardo, you in. Herson, you in. Rebel Montana, in. Alfredo, also in. Which puts us at 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Winner gets 70. Right?
I think we're at 13.
Really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 is the number.
65.
Nice. But wait, there's more. Chris, in. James, in. Eric, great last name, Mitchell, in. And then
I think
Robert.
that's Eric M.
Yep. And then Robert C, also in. I'm going to refresh my phone here one more time. Nico Laz, in. Timothy Great Bush, in. One more refresh here. I think I just got another friend request. Let me just confirm here. I got a friend request from Chris M. All right, Jeremy, what is that now? How many are we at?
Timothy Bush puts us at 19. Winner gets
19.
$95
$95 to the winner. If you want a chance to get in, $10 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365. Chuggs, I'm just going to read through all the names one more time here to just confirm that we got them all.
Yep.
Tim.
Yep.
Nico.
Yep.
Robert.
Yep.
Eric.
Yep.
James.
Yep.
Chris.
Yep.
Alfredo.
Yep.
Rebel.
Yep.
Sorry. Crap. Herson.
Yep.
Ricardo.
Yep.
Tuna.
Yep.
Patrick.
Yep.
Edwin.
Yep.
Mo.
Yep.
Aaron.
Yep.
Norman.
Yep.
Justine.
Yep.
Jeffrey.
Yep.
Robert.
Yep.
Got two more. Sorry. As soon as I was doing the scrolling, got a few more. I got Daniel Can in. And then Luis Chav in.
Now, I do have to say, this is going to be an even race. Everybody has the same chance to win because Luis Rodriguez is not in today.
Yeah, when I saw Luis pop up, I go, oh, shit.
Winner,
Yeah.
chicken dinner.
I mean, Luis has won more than anybody on here. Kobe in 22. All right, final call.
It's the final countdown.
Actually, wait, don't put Kobe in. He asked for $10 from me. Good try, though, Kobe. It's a valiant effort. It's a valiant effort. Let's go to a super chat from Nico. They had that fan on the Pat McAfee show this morning. I know, it's kind of wild, man. It's kind of wild.
Kobe, F you. F you, Kobe.
Jeremiah in. Oh, boy. Diego in. We just got a few more, I believe. Again, if you need to add me as a friend, you can try. Craig wants to be your friend. Craig, you got it.
Craig.
I'll be honest. I think the Kobe was it was a mistake because now he just sent me 10.
No, hey, I've never said anything bad about Kobe in my life.
Never a doubt.
Kobe.
No, never a doubt with
That's
Kobe.
on me.
You know what's also crazy? Kobe was number 24 in the race. He would have been 24 in the race. Now he's 25. All right, I think we have 25 people in, if my math is mathin'.
No.
What?
You counted Kobe twice.
I did.
So 24.
So Kobe was 24.
Yes.
All right, cool. Kobe, you're number 24 in the race. Jeremy, that's all I see right now. Are y'all ready to see a race go down? Winner gets $130. $130 to the winner.
And because we've done this so many times,
Patrick B says, let's do this.
I am just going to do this real quick.
Okay? Just to make sure. Just to make sure.
If you don't see your name and you send in a super chat, speak now or forever hold your pieces.
I don't know if I see Ryan Bass in there.
Yeah.
He's in.
All right.
Ryan Bass, you in? So now winner gets what, 135? That's how the math works, right?
25 times 5. 125.
Yep, all right, that's fine.
Yeah.
I thought we had 26 before. All right, I think we're good. Robert, yep. I think we're good.
All right.
All right, here we go. Winner gets $125. Are we doing are they going up? Dude, if this race goes up, that's electric. Though I think it's going to go this way.
How many shuffles? 2 or 3?
Shuffle it. Oh, dude. These Rockets, I don't know.
All right.
All right, let's do it.
One more.
Okay. Starting in 3, 2, winner gets $125. Go! Oh my goodness. Elon would be hyped with this race.
You have to move over a little
I know, I'm going to have to move out of the way. Herson got a little bit of a lead here. Nico, watch out for Kobe. Rebel Montana.
Justine is just in the perfect spot right now.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, Justine is just hanging out. But this race is totally different. I have no idea. Timothy Bush, like I'm afraid to even.
There's a lot of movement.
I'm afraid to come on screen. Giggity. We got Jeffrey Chrysler up there now. Daniel Can. Right now in the lead is Timothy Bush, but now Rebel Montana. Herson coming up. Tuna.
Lot of movement.
I mean, this one is, I have no idea. Watch out for James. Ryan Bass in interesting spot right now. Eric Mitchell with the lead. 15 seconds to go here. Daniel Can. Yes, you can. Kobe starting to fall back. Watch out for Aaron down there at the bottom. Diego in an interesting spot. 5 seconds to go. Is it going to be Nico Les? Nico Les! Nico Les!
On it. Oh, wow. That's cool. And it goes on to a little thingy.
Wow. Nico Laz. I'll tell you what. I had no idea what was happening in that race. That was electric.
Nico always puts in the comments, hit the Nas, hit the Nas.
Nico with the win.
Now, I ask you this.
I'm listening.
Do we go double or nothing?
Whew. It's up to you. How many times has Nico played? So Nico has played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Nico has been in 14 races.
Why for yes and for no? Do you want to go double or nothing? If not, we can end the show all good. I want to know at home, do y'all want to go double or nothing? Why for yes and for no?
Nico has been in 14 races, and now he has won 3 times. He's made his money back. He won a big one. He won $925 a few weeks ago. $925 Nico won. What is it? 125, right?
Yeah. Let me know. Why for yes and for no? Do you want to go double or nothing? A $20 race.
Nico sent.
Nico, once you get your money, then we'll decide this race. Let me know in the chat once you get it. Do you want to go double or nothing? Y for yes, N for no. Nico said he got it.
Yep.
I've seen enough yeses. I'm only going to put 2 minutes on the clock.
2 minutes on the clock.
2 minutes on the clock.
Okay. 2 minutes on the clock. If you want in another race here, $20 Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365.
Do you want me to check out another race?
Oh yeah. Yeah, if we're paying for it, we got to go a bunch of different ones. This might surprise you. Nico's in. Says, let's run it.
Let me.
Oh, yep, you're right. You're right. My bad. That's on me. Nico Laz, you in. The Great Tuna says, put me in. Tuna and Nico right now in. They'd get their money back.
If it was just them two, we would do it 100. Like 100% of it.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
We got to make it interesting.
I mean, I want to make it interesting for me. My own self. Robert says, you know what? Put me in.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
Ryan Bass says, enter me.
Enter me.
Alfredo, you in. 20 to get in. Right now, winner gets
$50.
$50 goes to the winner. Norman, you're so in, Norman.
Stormin'.
Norman, you're so in. 60 seconds to go.
Yes.
Final duck race.
I was like, are you looking at my phone?
Wait, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Aaron, in. Winner gets $60.
Now winner gets $70.
Justine, in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
80
7,
bucks.
8. $80 to the winner. Mo, you in.
$90 to the winner.
30 seconds to go here. Daniel, in. I'm going to go Matta, in. How many is that?
The winner would get $111 or $110.
$110 right now to the winner. 20 seconds left. 20 seconds left. I'm interested to see how this race ends up going down.
All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. No other people.
No other people in the race. So here we go.
And I think I just got to do this every time because
Okay, I'm listening.
we got messed up on game day and we had to send some money back because we've got to put some people in the race. So I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen anymore because I know everybody wants to race.
Yeah, I mean, I've sent the money back, believe me, but sometimes, shit happens. So,
But it's just like they want to be in the race, so it's,
it's
more fun.
I get it. All right, so Mata, in. Daniel, in. Mo, Justine, Aaron, Norman, Alfredo, Ryan, Robert, Tuna, Nico. And you know what? We're gonna let Ricky get in. RICCI at the buzzard. And James at the buzzard. All right, that's it. We're closing shop here. Ricky in, James in. 13. Winner gets $130. Wow, we're trying to get high today, huh? We got rockets. Are these jetpacks? A jetpack race. Wow, this is electric.
Just so I'm not controlling it, James said I sent 20. Wait, before we start, James
Yeah.
Guevara. Yes.
Yeah, he's in. He's at the very top in the green helmet. Shuffle it up.
How many times do I shuffle it? 2 or 3? 2 or 3 times. How many times do I shuffle it?
I say for Patrick B, 87.
Nico says 2. Eric, okay, they say 2 times. I'm going to shuffle it twice.
87.
1.
Yep.
2. All right.
All right. Who are you putting your money on?
I'm going Alfredo.
You're going to go Alfredo at the very, very top?
Yeah.
I kind of like. I'm gonna go with Ricky here. I'm gonna go with Ricky here.
All right.
Yeah.
Count us down, Mitch.
Starting in 3, 2. Winner gets $130. Go. I don't know where this race is going. I'm gonna be real with you, but I think Ryan Bass is in the lead. Alfredo, I'm going to say he's in second place.
What is this motion? How fast can you gyrate?
I mean, you could tell right now James does a lot of gyrating on his own.
Oh, yeah.
James and Aaron, any chance that they get.
Why are they wearing knee pads?
This motion tells you why they're wearing knee pads. I mean, there's no doubt Daniel and James, they do this motion more than anybody in this race. And Justine's like, I got to get away from these weirdos. Like, she's like, I'm out, man. Watch. Ricky, though's in an interesting spot here. This is going to come down to the final stretch.
Justine!
8 seconds to go. Justine says, wait. Ryan Bass! Is it Ryan Bass with the win? What are their legs doing? That was the weirdest one out of them all. Ryan
Bass! Winner, gyrating dinner.
Oh, I feel bad for everybody that's underneath him. Imagine watching that race from above.
Look at this comment.
What happened? Woo, the Pump King. I mean, he's still going at it.
Martin says, flying Ryan.
Oh, my Lord. You just look up, you think a bird shit in your eye, it's just Ryan. All right, Ryan, let me send you the money here.
Wait, is this Ryan, is this your first win?
I believe so. Pump King is how I'm going to put this.
Ryan, is this your first win? He said yes, first win.
Let's go. I can't even do this motion right now. Ryan, I need you to confirm down below that you got it. The Pump King. All right. Are we going to end it, or do we do one more at 50? Y for yes or no? One more at 50. Y for yes and for no. What do we do? Ryan says he got it. And Martin says, Ryan just pooped on my car. Here's the thing, Martin. That's not poop. It's not poop. Oh, man. Alfredo says, last one. Ryan says he got it. Ruben wants another. 7 wants another. No parachute. Yeah, I don't know how you guys are getting down. I'm going to be honest.
You,
Is that how you do it? Just like that? All right. Here's what we're going to do. 2 minutes on the clock. 50 to get in. Going high stakes here. Do we go 50? Or do we go 20? 50.
Wait, what do y'all want to do?
You want to do another 50 or 20? What do you want, 50 or 20? Let me know down below. Ryan and Nico, you guys won. I'll let you pick. I think that's fair. If you plan on playing, Ryan says 25. Raider OG says go big. I mean, Brandon says 25. More people will get in with 20 for sure. Do another 20?
Yeah. I would do 25.
The math.
Well, I just don't have it built.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I mean, we could do the math. That's not too hard.
Yeah, you never know. All right, final one here. Steven says one more. Mo says I lose every time. Mo, I'll be honest. I'm not the luckiest person either in these type of races, but, you know, it is what it is, man. Final one. 2 minutes on the clock again, Chuggs. 2 minutes on the clock. Final race of the night, no matter what. Final race of the night, no matter what. Here we go. Final race of the night, no matter what. 20 to get in at Mitchell Renz 365. I think this race, I think this one will get like 5 or 6 people in. That's my prediction here. Justine says 20. Okay, I'll get in. I'll refresh my phone here. 90 seconds to get in the race. I'm curious to see how this one ends up going down. Do you know what you're going to do? Tuna in. Shout out to Brandon. Always down for the win. Brandon, every time he sends it in, it says the win. Nico, got to play. You in.
And I do have to say, Nico plays every time, and I feel like that's why he's won as many times as he has.
So Nico has won.
3 times, right?
He won 125 today. 7 days ago, won $530. And then also 7 days ago, won $925. So one day, Nico won about $1,500 on this show. That's why Nico plays. That's why Nico plays. All right, I'm going to refresh. So far, it's Nico against Brandon.
It would be winner take all.
Winner take all is what it would be. So you guys go home with $40.
Oh, Justine says it's saying it won't let her send the same amount within 10 minutes.
How about this, Justine? Send in 21 or 19?
$19.99?
Can you do $19.99? I mean, you can't send it in. It's kind of weird. That's oh, she got it. Okay. Mo, you in. Ryan, you in. Justine, you in. Alfredo, in. Kobe, in. Mata, in. And that's all that I have so far.
All right.
Oh, wait. Frank, in. 30 seconds on the clock. Ricky, he got in at the buzzer. He said, okay, I'm in again. Giggity. What are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4,
We're
5,
at
6.
10.
It's pretty good.
Winner gets $100.
Winner gets $100. All right, no more takers here, Chuggs. No more takers here.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's just make sure everyone's in. Let's make sure everyone's in. All right, so we got Ricky, Frank, Alfredo, Mata, Kobe, Justine, Ryan, Mo, Nico, Tuna. Looks good? Okay.
Speak now or forever hold your peace. If you sent in money and you don't see your name, let me know right now.
I think we're good. I think we're good.
All right. Last check. Oh, down the hatch.
I think we're good. Let's get it going. Winner gets $100. I feel like we're going to get reported. We've been waiting to get reported for a long time on this channel, and here we go.
How many times do I shuffle?
Wait, we got an extra entry. Jeffrey said, I want to run in a skirt. Oh, wait. It's Jerry, not Jeff. Jerry.
Jerry!
Jerry. Jerry, also with a K. All right. Here we go.
How many times do I shuffle?
I don't know.
Four times.
I feel like The Bachelor.
2, 3, 4.
Wow. I mean, you could just tell Mata looks great in that dress. I can't wait to see these people try to run in heels here. All right, here we go. Winner gets $110.
7-0 true. Venmo is the only way in because that way we can send it back.
Correct. Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365. Here we go.
No more entries.
Winner gets 110 starting in 3, 2, 1. Go! Apparently, we're going to chase after a unicorn and out to an early start here.
Nico!
Is Nico Laz, and it looks like Nico Laz, Kobe, and Mo really know how to run in those heels, Chuggs.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you could tell.
They're actually glass slippers.
I mean, Mo right now, he's a little bit, or maybe she, worried that they might miss the ball.
Steven said Disney will be calling.
Probably. Right now, it's a head-to-head race between Mata and Mo, but watch out for Jerry. I mean, I've always said Jerry is a girl name to me, and you can see it right now. Jerry, but you know what? Nico was in the front, had to take a quick breather. Now she back up at the very, very front here, and she got the lead. Nico might be able to take this one home.
Nico!
Is it going to be Mo? Is it going to be Ryan Bass again? Could it be Jerry? Could it be Mata? We got a head-to-head race. I think it's going to be Mata. I'm glad they didn't sit on that unicorn the other way. I'll tell you that. I am happy about that. Mata with the win.
Nico said, hit that fairy godmother dust.
Oh, I mean, right now they are schlumped.
Dude, everybody who lost is
Poor
just
Mo. Poor Mo.
very sad.
All right. Michael, I just added you as a friend. So Michael has played. This was Michael's third race.
Mata?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I gave away the last name. Sorry. Yes. So far, Mata has put in $90, and guess what? They just made it back. Just made it back. Queen Mata.
Let me know, Mata, did you get it?
Mata just sent it.
Let us know that you got it.
Mo says, I believe it's fixed.
Ryan says Broncos fans sit on unicorns that way.
I'll tell you this right now. If I could fix it, I'd be in every race. Oh, wow. Mitch won again. That's wild. Chuggs won again. Mata, can you confirm that you got it? Please do so. Next time, you're going to see Jeremy Chuggs and I live here on the Raiders Report. It's going to be on Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I just realized that's not the right time.
3?
No, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. 6 our time. Because 6 p.m. Eastern Time is not 4 Pacific. Yep, that'll get you. That'll get you. We'll be back at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then we're going to be live again on Sunday for Raiders Bears. We hope to see you all there.
That's the correct time.
Hopefully, you enjoyed today's show. Chuggs and I had a lot of fun. Everybody enjoy the rest of your day.
Oh, Realist Raider. That's who Mata is. He said, I just got it. Not bad for sporting a dress.
Hell yeah, Realist Raider. Congratulations to you, my guy. Steven69, I appreciate you. Martin, Nico, Mo, Realist, Kobe.
Realist. I'm up $30. I went to Vegas. I'm up $30. Oh, blackjack? No, princess races.
Princess races. I mean, that sounds like something where that guy who runs that show shows up at your house and's like, why are you talking to this 14-year-old right now? I can't think of the show. Dateline. I think it's Dateline. Yep, that one. All right, y'all. We'll see you live Thursday when Derek Carr takes on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Haven't said that in a very, very long time. We'll see y'all then. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications. If any trades or anything wild happens, we're going to be going live on the channel. I don't want you to miss it. Until then, peace out.